And we are on the air again this morning with our friends from United High School. High school principal Kirk Atwood joins us this morning with some folks in the room with him. Kirk, good morning.
Good morning.
Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So we're talking eSports. Who do you have with you?
I have with me this morning Mike Lee. Mr. Lee is one of our math teachers here at United, and he also is now a computer science certified instructor as well. So he's been teaching those classes and some robotics classes for us for a while. And I asked him if he'd come over and join me this morning.
Wonderful. And we're talking about eSports. I think probably folks need to know what that is, first of all. Good morning, Mr. Lee.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us here today. So explain.
Yeah, not a problem. Essentially, it's what you think it is. It's kids playing video games against other kids, and they compete for prizes and playoffs in a structured tournament sort of setting.
Mm-hmm. And United has, how big is a team, and what kind of eSports are we talking about?
The game is called League of Legends. It's fairly popular amongst younger children, and it's basically a strategy game where it's almost like capture the flag, trying to get to the other team's base and defeat them. We have 3 teams of 5, and we're going to be competing against teams in Texas and New York, Ohio, all around the country.
Wow. Now, is this more of a tournament type of thing, or is it an actual ongoing league?
It's an ongoing league. There's a fall and spring season. Each season lasts 8 weeks with a playoff session. I believe the playoff is a double elimination tournament based on the season outcome.
Yeah, and we think of video games of this type as being recreational and not really worth much in terms of their value to a student's education, but that's not really the case at all, is it?
It's drastically changed since I started teaching computers. These days, the video game industry is nearly $100 billion business a year, and there are many, many jobs and careers in it. And the interesting thing here is we're able to offer non-traditional athletic students that normally wouldn't have gone out for basketball or football or wrestling, an opportunity to engage in those leadership, teamwork, collaborative efforts that we typically associate with traditional athletics.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the interesting things I was reading about it this morning as well is there are some eSports organizations and sponsors, including the U.S. military, that consider it really a valuable skill set to have, and so they're very happy to come on board and sponsor things like this and help kids develop in that way.
Exactly. It's all those soft skills that industry is always looking for: teamwork, getting along, reaching your objectives.
So can you beat any of these kids at this game?
I've played it 3 times just so I'm familiar with it. No, I cannot beat them.
Well, tell me about the atmosphere when these guys all get together. I'm assuming guys and gals, of course, are involved in this, and they've been playing for a while, and probably they can do it online from whatever remote location they happen to be at.
Yes, they can. Now, United, we're fortunate, and we've not had any trouble. We're actually in person, so we have a nice computer lab. We're all set up with monitors so we can project the match ongoing, and we have all the teams play together right in the room, of course, with masks and proper sanitation. And we have that great opportunity that they can see each other, collaborate, and actually coach each other on some of the intricacies of the game.
Now, United has been doing this for how long?
Year.
This is it. Yeah, we were looking for something exciting and new this year. We didn't know what was going to happen with traditional athletics and things like that. And I just started poking around, and like Mr. Lee said, I started looking, and I saw, this is nearly $100 billion a year industry. Wow. And there are real jobs out there for students who are successful. And I thought, that's something that we should maybe look into at United, even beyond the pandemic, but this is just the perfect year for us to really pilot this program.
So have you had any matches yet?
No, we've had some scrimmages amongst ourselves. The season starts March 1st, and the preseason starts February 16th.
I'm not assuming training camp involves a lot of calisthenics.
No, mostly clicking your mouse.
All right. Well, there's some wrist action, some finger action. You got to get those things in shape for this. The game itself, you mentioned that it's very popular among younger students. Is it something that kids can play at the elementary level, or is it more advanced than that?
Well, the publisher offers it for free. They do a little bit of advertisement and other things like that. But they do set an age limit of 13 on the game, just because it is, different people beating on each other, so they want to keep it friendly, family friendly. But it is. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, well, we were talking about age ranges for kids playing this, and how long, maybe what sort of experiences these kids have with it. I'm sure that some of the kids are better at it than others, and do you seed players?
Yeah, I have students that play it outside, and they're top seeded. So I've made a team with those students, and they're going to be my top competition. Mm-hmm. But I'm also trying to get them to train students who are brand new to it, so that next year we have a more even skill set.
Yeah. Is United the only school in the Heritage Conference or in Indiana County or the area that is involved in esports in this particular league?
Yeah, but we're used to being leaders, Todd. Yeah, we're as of right now, we're the only one that I know of. But I do know the platform that we utilize is called Play Versus. They're based out of the state of Oregon. And in our conversations, they've told me there are currently 24 states that recognize esports as a varsity sport. Pennsylvania is not one of them, but they're lobbying in Pennsylvania, lobbying PIAA to get this to be a recognized varsity sport. And we figured, if we can get a little bit ahead of the curve and we're ready to go whenever that happens, we'll be set.
Yeah, the one league that I was checking out this morning, they have teams in Ferndale has a team and Central Cambria has a team. So it's starting to catch on here in Western PA. And, United is the leader in Indiana County and in the Heritage Conference. You're going to win the Heritage Conference championship in this year,
We are. I don't think we're going to get any plaques, but I think we might win it.
Well, good luck with it. It sounds like it's something that can really be one of those build-upon type of endeavors that you can start where you are now and really build this into a program that helps both in the classroom and helps these kids as well develop some of the skills that maybe they would develop on a sporting field.
That's exactly the idea, and we're very hopeful that that's going to carry through.
Absolutely. All right. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you.
Mr. Atwood, what else going on at United right now?
I heard just before we came on you were talking about sports. We're pretty happy with the way our basketball season has been going so far. Wrestling's been going very well. We are actually gearing up right now. I was emailing this morning with Mrs. Dunn, who is our musical director, so we're actually getting our musical up off the ground. So we're moving right ahead with things. We're keeping safe, we're keeping our distance, but we're trying to give our kids every opportunity we can give them.
Yeah, I know. One of the great things about United as well is Maisie Fry is a young lady who, like everybody else, had her spring sports season, and for her it's track and field, disrupted last year, but she still managed to get herself a very nice scholarship offer and accepted from Robert Morris University. So it's good that season did not affect her too negatively, and she's going D1.
Yeah, that was an exciting day last week. We got to have Maisie's signing. She signed her letter for Robert Morris. Her parents were able to come in. Her sister's one of our students here as well, so the whole family got to be there and watch Maisie sign. And we're so incredibly proud of her, not just her athletic ability. I remember right after I got to United that first spring semester that I was here, I got an email from one of the coaches at one of our schools we competed against in track, and just said, when you have an athlete that's this talented, there's sometimes a little chip on the shoulder. There's a little bit of narcissism or something that comes with that. And he said, I was watching Maisie Fry, and the way she interacted with everyone on that team and her leadership and the way she was just, picking up the stuff and carrying it around, and it just, there's none of that with her. She's just an all-around great student, great kid, and we're so incredibly proud of her.
Absolutely. And I know Coach Matava was with that program for so long as track and field coach, but there's an opening right now. Somebody could get themselves a really decent start on their coaching career at track and field right now at United, because there's Maisie Fry, and United, of course, is traditionally very, very strong in the running programs too.
Yeah, we are. It's kind of what would happen whenever Coach Mataba left is our board has decided to combine the boys and girls head coaches. We used to have two head coaches, and we thought we're actually better served if we can have one boys and girls head coach, which would really is just administrative when you look at track and field. It's registering for tournaments and making sure everything's lined up, which, they're going together anyhow for all their meets. And so it really doesn't necessarily require two people. And so that allows us to bring on another assistant who doesn't have to spend time doing that administrative stuff and can really be working more directly with the kids.
Yeah, and that parallels very well with the cross-country season in the fall as well. So
Absolutely.
that opportunity is there for somebody. And again, you can see on the United website in their Facebook page, or you can go to our website where we have it as a story in our sports. If somebody wants to apply for that, that information is already posted. Well, Mr. Kirk Atwood, we're actually going to have the United boys on the air tomorrow night against Penns Manor on 92.5 FMU 92. Boys and girls basketball, the other programs at United going well. I'm assuming that in terms of COVID, you're still fighting the good fight there.
We are, yeah. Things have gone very well. We came back in person on the 4th of January after the holiday break. We haven't had not one positive case of a student or teacher in our building since then. So knock on wood. A few students have been quarantined because of outside contacts, but we've been very fortunate, and we want our kids in the building. We're going to keep them here as much as we can.
Terrific stuff. Kirk, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. Have a great day today.
You too. Bye-bye.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.